team that is certainly of higher caliber than most of them.
Yes, of course.
Say. Obviously, OG was the the one standout from that entire listing, but still,
they have to prove themselves here for sure. I think their draft is pretty easy to execute if they can get into that late game. The Spectre versus the Arc Warden, that's one of the easier heroes to get on top of them. You just press R. Eventually, you'll pick up an Aghanim Scepter, and then you can go to the main hero whenever he shows. And that is an item that people are building right now, is the Aghanim Scepter with the Spectre Haunt being nerfed. So I do think this is quite good, but we've seen Nigma with this Arc Warden before. They make it look really good, even again.
Well, if you have faith in Liquid, Jenkins, let me do something to douse a little bit of that belief for you.
Don't do this to me.
Last time they matched up against each other, Beyond Epic.
Okay.
Best of 3.
When was
2-1 Nigma. This was 2 months ago.
With 2-1 though.
Yeah, 2-1.
You know, they still took a game. Like I feel like 66%.
Oh no, absolutely. They can take games. Bounty Hunt. Best of 3.
Oh, you're gonna keep
2-1 Nigma.
I didn't realize you were gonna.
Bounty Hunt again.
Okay.
2-1 Nigma.
Okay, that's a lot of 2-1s there.
Best of 1.
Yep.
Nigma.
Oh, okay.
ESL 1 Birmingham. 2-1 Nigma. So no doubt,
that's
Liquid,
a lot of 2-1.
Really good at taking an individual game off of Liquid. They're very good at doing it. However, they don't seem to be able to close out the series.
Well, you know, this is the series.
This is where they break the curse.
We are going to see that curse be broken here. A very nice mid-ward there. Look at this.
And I'm saying this because most of the time, only one of the series did they take game 2. All the other series, they take the first game in the series.
Okay. So this one is going to go to Liquid, historically speaking.
Again, I'm more trying to douse your hope in Liquid here by saying, don't get your hopes up too high when they win this game.
Well, you have done an adequate job at that. I've got to say, very impressive soul crushing just done.
Thank you. That's what I aim for. Boxy's going to be playing the Darkseer, which we actually need to touch on because most of the time they've been playing Taiga in in Morna 4. In fact, we heard from that interview where Taiga said, yeah, I just understand this meta right now, and I was tired of goddamn losing. So I said, team, make me a core, I'll carry you guys. And they acquiesced. They said, okay, Tommy. Because apparently Tommy is not somebody who really is going to make those kind of demands very often.
Unless he knows.
Yeah, but he just feels really good about it, and he made that kind of call. And since then, it has been serving Liquid very well.
You know, the funny thing is that's a type of player. Like, when you say that, it's like, oh, I actually know people like that are really good. Like, I know Zai is another one of those players. Like, if Zai says he wants to do something, you just let him do it.
Yeah, I mean, Taiga has been full of moments when with his history in Liquid. There was, of course, that infamous Dark Willow game where he was able to hold out from the fountain with that Aghanim's Dark Willow. And even just recently, we had him being able to go for the throne race and manage to bring down the throne with his Eidolons. So
it's usually 4 positions that are like that, honestly.
Yeah.
They're like the god. Play whatever game, really good at it.
Yeah, in Southeast Asia, DJ, right? Great example of somebody who really shines on that 4 position. Though lately, if you watch the Southeast Asia series earlier today, that was actually Jabs who came through in the clutch. Hook shot in, picked up a Divine Rapier on a deck and killed the throne. How insane is that? DJ was there helping him out too, but in this game we do have that Korfa versus Weeha mid matchup, Zeus versus Void Spirits, which is going very, very well for Korfa. He's even got himself 3 denies.
I would imagine that's fairly Zeus favored. High base damage, good attack animation now. Finally, he has a good attack animation. So just do so much. Literally shield.
Yeah.
Void Spirit doesn't really do anything to a Zeus.
And then our bottom, like, oh, try and keep him in the silence. Oh, insane. He gets hit by it, pops his heals out of him, but he's still dead. Mind control gets the first blood. I think Insania read that he wasn't going to be able to dive past the silence in time, and therefore he would just come right back. Yeah,
he had the point. Like, it was available. He just made the read. Oh, that's a nice read too. Speaking of which, it's cool to see Void players hitting nice.
Oh, Taiga, he's in big time trouble here. Throws out the avalanche, and he's gonna die here if this last decay hits him. And there it is. RMN collects a second kill for Nigma in this laning phase.
Yeah, 2-0 so far. I mean, these lanes I wouldn't say are necessarily supposed to go like this. They're about even. There's different timings you can have for either lane. Oh my god, that's the worst death that you could possibly have. I mean, that's your Spectre. This is your counter to the Arc Warden. I don't know if they can keep aggroing after this. 2 kills on both the heroes.
Yeah, but is the other matchup any better? You want that Spectre into the Undying Arc Warden lane? That looks pretty bad too.
See, the Undying is the real issue.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
RMN will die here to the combo of the Darkseer and the Tiny, so they do manage to get that kill. It's still a bit concerning. 4-minute power runes are coming up though, and that's certainly where things could change a lot, because the one winning lane here from Liquid is this mid lane where Koifa continues to dominate 25-3, and Taiga helps him get a kill. Even better is Weehaw spots Taiga. It's on the other side of things. That's where the Rubik is signed. And look at him. They really want to be able to protect Weehaw here and allow him to be able to get this. And Koifa and Taiga are not going to let him to. Dissimulate goes out. He does manage to pick it up, and now he's fully committed. Toss up in the air, and he may just be dying as Insania is going to ensure it here. Now GH, he's probably going to be run down as Koifa has those high levels of Arc Lightning that we've been seeing from Zeus's, and they start evening things out on Liquid.
That's one of those weird situations where it looks really silly that he commits like that, but both of the mid heroes had no resources in an empty bottle. So like whoever gets that rune, it's just
an arcane rune too.
It's like, just over. It's just over for the other mid laner. So like you have to go for it.
Yep.
You'd arguably rather die and then get the rune and give it to the other guy. Just have that full reset from Fountain at least.
So even before that play, I was going to set it up where Liquid do have a chance to be able to come back, right? Because they have this crazy global strategy, a classic Zeus Spectre duo. Mind Control doing a good job controlling up the bounty rune there, and they get Insane as courier for that.
Darkseer Phoenix as well. Like, these heroes are nothing to scoff at in the late game. They're not really like damage dealing cores per se, but they offer so much fights. Right, like you have the vacuum you have the surge on the Spectre, maybe on the Zeus to save him, the wall creating the illusion of the Arc Warden, Bloodseeker. Like it's pretty nice to go late game with these heroes. As long as you have some sort of damage, and between Zeus and Spectre, of course they're going to have damage.
So I casted an NA game last night with Trent, and he was telling me they've been covering Southeast Asia and some of the NA games. Yep. And he said in Southeast Asia they've actually been experimenting with Nature's Prophet Zeus, which, you know, is another global strategy, but the current Nature's Prophet that does so much damage with Wrath of Nature, the only way to really deal with that is to hide, to be off map. Zeus reveals you, right? So it's like...
It's the same thing with the Spectre Zeus.
Yep.
I imagine that's what you're moving into, is this combo.
Oh, there's the Zeus ultimate to go off, and might just get them 2 kills here in the top lane, but GH is there to turn things around, and if anything, Boxy is going to get a little bit low. Stick will heal him back up here. They're actually going to TP out. And that's because the Void Spirit was actually making his way down the river. They knew that because they had a ward there in the triangle area that spotted some of the rotation.
Very nice ward. Yeah, that's, you know, clearly to protect the Miracle Arc Warden there. Actually, that's from Liquid.
Yeah.
That's a Liquid ward. Wow. Deep. But yeah, this aggro situation with an Arc Warden becomes a little weird and awkward whenever there's a Zeus or, like we were talking about, Nature's Prophet in the game, because you get this level 6 really quickly on these heroes, and then all of a sudden you don't have to have this rotation happen with the mid laner, but you have this extra damage in the lane. It's like, okay, well, we were winning this lane before, but you throw in this like 300, 400 damage nuke. Like, what the hell can you do, right? Even if there's a level disadvantage, you still can die.
The one lane that continues to be won here is, I believe, Mind Control is very happy with his matchup because this damage just doesn't threaten him, right? Bloodseeker with his thirst, like, they don't have any like burst damage or anything that really keeps him low enough. He can't approach the creep waves, so.
Yep, exactly. Phoenix, Spectre, neither of these heroes really do enough damage. It's... You need some heroes to kill the Bloodseeker. These are not kill heroes. These are slow harass heroes, and that's exactly what Bloodseeker prefers to play against. We even saw Bloodseeker doing well against a Nature's Prophet.
Taiga approaches and then backs away. As soon as the TP... I think he was hoping to be able to get an avalanche toss back, but no such luck, and looks like that would be the first rupture of the game with the rotation from Weehaw. They do ensure the kill on the carry of Liquid.
This frees up the mid lane for Miracle, too. He needs the space with that little aggro lane that he was doing, and of course dying to the Zeus. Ooh, predictable.
He thought there was a chance, and Insania double back here, still holding that double damage and an astral step. So this is a very dangerous man. Weehaw, as he tends to, full out aggression, dissimulate immediately. Astral step away before he can get caught by the stun. Still got the rest of the team surrounding him here, so he's still ready to fight, but Koifa's gonna cut over. They do have the blood right. Taiga throws out his combo, tries to bring down mind control, and they do. Taiga, really nice that he blows his combo and then gets his distance away. That was well played.
That's one of those eights of this Bloodseeker hero, is that you feel like people are low, so when you're playing in the offlane, it's like, oh, I can run them down, right? But then you do no damage. You do no right-click damage, so you get baited into the tower like that and allow Taiga to make that play.
Nice kill. Liquid beginning to pick up some steam here as Boxy put the Ion Shell on Mickey right as Koifa started getting aggressive on that Arc Warden. So the Spectre gets on top of you instantly, and he's got the Ion Shell damage. Pretty easy.
I've definitely heard a lot of people flame the Spectre plus Darkseer combo. It's like, oh, it's Surging Spectre. That's not that scary, right?
Yeah. Whoa, dodging the rupture there for a second. Mind control still looks to get it out. Instead, he's going to throw it onto the Phoenix here. Phoenix not have the Supernova. Getting behind this tier 1, blood right in the middle. So Phoenix isn't able to dodge it here, and they'll just burst him down with GH.
Nice thing about the Bloodseeker when you... Oh.
There's that Ion Shell on the Darkseer. Another combo that works really well with the Darkseer. I would say a lot better is that tiny.
Right, exactly what I was saying about the Spectre, too. It's like in the early game, you throw an hero, all of a sudden they become a killer.
Yeah. Boxy is going to be able to surge away from a lot of this damage. Really nicely played, but he may still die. In fact, he does. There's the Soul Rip, just does so much damage. Especially when you've got that bailout from Mike.
Yeah. You might have TP bot too, which...
Oh, that's
yeah, that could be a real issue for defending this tower. I mean, not that the tower really matters that much.
Yeah.
This one's largely irrelevant.
Looks like 3 bounty runes for Nigma. So what do you think? I mean, the initial part of the lane phase looked a little rough just because the side lanes were bad for Liquid. But then as soon as they got their level 6s, they ran around, got some kills. Now the net worth is pretty even. Do you feel like a team has an advantage one way or another?
You know, I look at this Liquid draft. Like, if you have this draft in a pub, and I know this is a pub. Okay,
Koifa pulled back in.
So much damage.
Looking to be able to burst him down, just need a little bit more. Koifa trying to dodge those hits, turns around, gets a little damage on a Weehaw here, backs away, but he dies eventually to Soul Rip, and so will Taiga, looks like, as they just effortlessly die this tier 1 tower with multiple people, and they've got the Sea Dragon alive too.
I like how active Nigma's being in this game. I think if they aren't active, they're just going to fall victim to this very easy to execute draft from Liquid. It's really obvious how the team fight should be played. You just vac into Phoenix Egg, Tiny Stun, and then press the Spectre and Zeus spells, press their R's, and then you're probably going to win the fight. Like, that alone is too much damage to deal with. But if you're taking these small skirmishes and you're getting the jump, even smoking immediately after taking the tier 1 tower, that shows how fast they want to play, even with the Arc Warden.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They want to be able to, with this 4-man, create a lot of space for the Arc Warden. The more towers they take, the more map control Arc Warden can grab with his Tempest Double. But here comes a re-smoke up from Liquid. Run over Mind Control real quickly. Koifa pops the ultimate to ensure the last hit there on Mind Control. Big kill. Heavy rotation, though, from Liquid. Let's see if they similarly can get an objective off of a hero kill like that. Insania diving forward, does man GH. Look at that. Stun Ray immediately going out from Insania to prevent the Icarus dive steal from GH that would have allowed him to escape.
Yeah, that's very nice. And the thing with this rotation, too, is it's not only they're getting kills, but they rotated towards this bot tower. This is the exact place on the map that you want to play because you want to take this tower to take over the jungle.
Look at this support duo setting up for this tier 1 because they're like, okay, a bunch of people showed bottom. Let's just immediately rotate to the other side. Insania looks like he's going to kind of bait himself here and see if Weehaw takes the bait or not.
Yeah, this is a really nice play. Oh, Miracle goes for the wraparound.
And Koifa's caught. Telekinesis is there in time.
Once again, I'm impressed with how active he's being.
Okay, Weeha's going to take it. He's going to go for this kill on Insania. I'm not sure that a Tiny is going to be able to do enough damage, but we'll see. Weeha has another Astral Step. Insania catches him, slows him down just enough. Another round of Fire Spirits, a little bit more. The Spectre ult's going to go off. They have the egg as well. They're going to dive in deep with this dagger and eventually get the kill, yes. But it cost them 2 ultimates for it.
Maybe we taunted a little bit too early there with the chat line. I think he expected to get away, but with the double global strat, it's you always got to look out, man.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Man, such activity from both teams in this game, despite both teams having some like insane late game. It's just all guns blazing.
That being said, with the Spectral used, Miracle is certainly going to feel like a lot more comfortable and be aggressive and shoving down lanes and such.
Yeah, 100%. I'm surprised he's playing with this hero up so much, but I get it. Like, look at this Liquid draft right now. You have this amazing late game, this amazing team fight, but what initiation do you have? What killer heroes do you have right now? It's just Taiga, right? And this is a guy playing with the Blink there. He's done a great job so far, but he's the only hero that can really do any sort of initiation. Yeah. They don't have tower push either, which is exactly why they made that smoke to bot, but then they didn't push the tier 1 because what's the point? It's going to take so long. You're going to get wiped trying to do it, these heroes.
Sure.
Like, they have to fight because they don't want to just lose to this snowball from Nigma, but they also can't take towers. They can defend towers very well, though.
That they can, and they've only bled away 1 tower so far, and that was through that really nice smoke gank into mid lane. Bottom tower is getting pretty low, but you can see the Darkseer's trying to stand in front of that. Phoenix is one of the better heroes to do something similar here. Search for with the Ion Shell, cutting through the trees. Spotted though, and certainly doesn't want that blood right.
The Surge definitely helps Taiga with these initiations, even without the Blink Dagger. Like, this is definitely a... I like that they're playing these 2 heroes together, or at the very least, whenever Taiga's going for a play, he's doing it with a shell on him. Like, every single time we look at this little rock, he's got a shell on him.
Yeah. And we've seen so often, like, these Tinies with Grimstrokes, or, like, so many heroes, basically. It's like you add a little bit of a nuke on top of that, and it almost guarantees you're going to get a kill.
Yeah, exactly.
If you get your combo off, they're going to pull him back in with the Aether Remnant, see if they can blow him up before he gets off the Supernova. He does manage to do so, but the Egg's going to die really quickly, and now Taiga is probably going to die as well. Nice tie spout, Weeha, but he has no TV, so, and he has no way to cut. So there's nowhere he can cut down and hide. No options.
It is getting to the point, though, that I think an option for them is to go for the Blink Dagger on Tiny whenever they make these plays. Like, I think it's getting harder and harder to run into Nigma. I mean, especially when they're 5-manning like this, even bringing the Arc Warden to all of their engagements. And I get why they're doing that. If you look at the tower damage from Nigma, all they have is Arc Ward, and I mean, he's not even that much, but at least he's a ranged hero, right? And he's got the summoned clone of himself that can do a little bit of damage. So if they want to take towers and be active, he's got to be active. God, this ward is beautiful. I love this.
That's expected to be like one of the safest places to farm early on because you're right next to a tier 2 tower. Like, surely that's an okay place.
And who wards there? It's on the low ground.
Yeah. That's expected to be like
all of your Dota instincts tell you that you will not die there.
You're right next to a tier.
And apparently the instincts were right. Nobody died. It's too safe, even with the ward.
Still tier 1 tower remains at bottom. Our men currently set up 4 levels of Soul Rip, 1 level of Tombstone.
I love the heroes that they're playing together when they split like this on Nigma. Bloodseeker Rubik, RMN. This is a really nice 3-man unit, and then these other, like in terms of team, and then these other heroes, Arc Warden and Void Spirit, they're fast, they're mobile, they can get to the fight.
So I want to point something out that seems to be a pattern for Liquid. This is now the second time where I've seen them. They very clearly have late game. This time around, they may not be stacking as much, but they do have 2 supports that can kill creep waves and protect towers.
Yep.
And you could see the Phoenix, like Insania was playing top so often. Like, he was just collecting creep waves, getting the CS and experience, keeping it off the tower, and then you've got basically 2.5 cores who are farming jungle the entirety of that time. They weren't showing on the map hardly at all.
And I do think if they can engage in some sort of 5v5 combat with Nigma, as long as there isn't somebody getting picked off right at the start, I think this kind of greed that you're talking about and playing to farm will lend itself to them winning a fight. The question is, will Nigma give that opportunity? Like, I really like this itemization for Mind Control. It's just saying, screw the Zai build, right? I'm just going to go for the Veil because I think it's a necessity on this hero, which I totally agree with, and then go straight for the pipe. Not to give them any chance to do this magic bullshit combo, Zeus, Spectre. They're not going to kill us. Even though this hero kind of lacks the mana to use this item, like, you need it on somebody. Bloodseeker's got to build it.
Yeah, nobody else is pull the pipe. The only other would be this Undying.
No way.
And I don't think Arman's getting a pipe anytime soon.
Nope, nope.
There's a reason why this hero hasn't been run core a whole lot. It's pretty much only Nigma who has taken that chances with Mind Control.
Yep, you have to snowball with it. You have to dump on the lane and then be so huge that you can sit in lanes hitting creeps.
Aghanim Scepter almost done for Weeha's Void Spear. What is Mickey's farm at currently? I haven't seen his items queued up in a while. Blade Mail.
Oh, Blade Mail. Interesting. I suppose if he gets ruptured, that's going to be good. If the Arc Ward in this hero does a lot of right-click damage, it's basically the only other way that they can kill him. I think Void Spirit doesn't really care that much about the Blade Mail.
Yeah.
Just too mobile, too tanky.
Taiga. Now as his Blink Dagger. He took the time to be able to farm it up. They're going to go for the fast kill on a Mind Control. But Mind Control with a pipe up and the Soul Rip. He heals up so much. They do manage to get the Supernova off. The Eul Scepter buying Koifa a little bit of time. The egg protecting him. They deal with the Tombstone. But Weeha comes in looking for the execution on a Koifa here. But he stays alive. Staying away. Dagger coming in. Dissimulate. No, he doesn't actually get hit by it. Weeha trying to finish him. The Eul Scepter, their toss up in the air, does manage to finally get the Zeus there from GH. But it's still a 1-for-1 trade-off. Nigma pushing forward, looking to catch some of these heroes, slow them down. Phoenix will eventually get out here. Mickey, he's pretty healthy. Nice toss. Avalanche combo there from Taiga. Mickey, though, getting so aggressive. I think he thought he could just 1v4 pretty easily. That may not be the case. He has the Sunrise on top of him. That's healing him up a lot, but it's not quite enough. The vacuum comes in, grabbing a number of heroes with the Fire Spirits on him. The Avalanche toss kills Miracle, almost takes down GH as well. Taiga deals the finishing blow there, and Mickey, he baits out a great fight for them. He just charged in, man, with that Blade Mail, said, fight me, and then his supports were the ones to able to clean up all the kills.
Yeah, that was just beautiful, Dota, man. Like, the start of that fight, baiting a Mind Control, that's just perfect. That's exactly what you need to do when you have that fight. And then we have this hyper-focus on the Zeus, which, of course, needs to happen. But then the egg gets popped, and everybody plays around protecting that Zeus with the egg. And he survives, and he dodges the, what is it, Dissimulate? Is that what it's called? The Dissimulate, he dodges that just by a fraction, which lets Taiga get off that nice Avalanche toss, killing the Void Spirit, and then the re-engage, the choice to re-engage, because it's like they've committed so much to go for this Zeus that we can actually kill Miracle, who's now out of position. All of these other heroes, we don't give a shit about them. Like I think it was Kyle that said it, this game is all about the Arc Warden, it's all about the Zeus. These are the heroes that matter.
Yeah. Two backline glass cannon type heroes that usually do not have any way to protect themselves if you get on top of them. And both sides have heroes that kind of automatically get into the back line with Void Spirit and Spectre.
So it falls on the team. It falls on the supporting cast to make sure that they're protecting their little boy.
Yeah, and they've got the same protection too, because they both have a totem, a shrine that they lay down on the ground and says, we're gonna fight around this area. Tombstone and the egg.
You got the blood right to put down.
Taiga just poking at him, I guess. Backing away, though. They're going to lose their tier 2 pretty early here. So much stuff out on the ground. Aether Remnants and Spark Race everywhere. It is not a battlefield that is Liquid feel good about fighting, so they just give it up.
We're definitely seeing one of these big holes in the Liquid draft in the fact that they don't have any tower push, and with the lead that Nigma has, they're afraid to D-push with the Zeus because you can just jump in with the Void Spirit, who's so huge in this game.
Yeah.
So it's like this map is incredibly limited. Like the mid-tier 1 is still alive. We just lost a tier 2 for Liquid. Now the Outpost is going to go down. The game gets a lot harder from here on out.
I agree. The map control is definitely a big problem, but at the same time, this net worth difference isn't that big. So despite it controlling less of the map, jump in, trying to grab the Void Spirit, but Weeha already jumped away. He instantly stepped out of that one. The vacuum Avalanche is still going to catch him for a bit of damage, but eventually does get that second Ash Sap. Boy, that was really fast. He dissimulated in and instantly jumped out.
Yeah, great discipline there. I wouldn't even call that instincts. I guarantee you he had no idea that was coming. It's just he knows that good players in Dota, they clear waves fast. If you're good, you assume the enemy team is good.
Sure.
And so you should assume that they're always there waiting to kill you. So you jump in, immediately jump out. Don't even worry about getting the last hits.
They do have level 15 talent on the Darkseer now, so that is going to help a lot in team fights. And he's going to be going for a Lotus Orb.
I think he did go for the HP talent on the Iron Shell. I believe that's the...
Yeah. Right. I mean, does anybody go the wall?
I have seen some people going for it now that the Iron Shell's been nerfed. Yeah, but you know, I mean, 350 HP. I feel like the 400 was way too much. 350 is more balanced, but probably still not that balanced. Yeah. It's a new talent. This is how it is with new things that are added to the game.
Yeah, very few abilities out there give you bonus health.
Just straight up, just raw health.
Yeah. Mickey. Bit of a net worth difference between him and the Arc Warden, but the other forms of Liquid are a little bit happier with, I guess they're all kind of even.
Yeah, this is really just the Arc Warden Midas factor. I would say this game is fairly even. The real differentiator is the map advantage, but then you could argue, do you really need that much of the map to use with these heroes? Like Phoenix can kind of sit in trees and side lanes, and they've got this global. They're kind of okay with farming their own jungle. It's very close. This is a very close game so far.
I feel like we're about to hit go time for Nigma. Like, they're going to get BKB and the Arc Warden that is supposed to be able to deal with the... I mean, it deals with everything, right? The Zeus, the Tiny, so that magic damage and that stuff he's just able to ignore. And then the Spectre may get on top of him, but it's not Spectre time yet. He's going to have Blade Mail Manta. That is not a lot of damage, especially if you're able to summon a unit next to you that prevents any of that extra damage.
This is true. This is true. It's really not a problem, man. I think you're totally right. I think there's two ways this can go. Either they show up with the Arc Warden and they wipe Liquid with a nice BKB, or he presses the BKB a little bit too early, and then Liquid re-engages like we saw them do in the fight with Taiga jumping in. Sure. Mickey running in and baiting. I think Liquid is going to be very much so looking to bait the BKB and re-engage.
Yeah, I actually think this is a critical time where Liquid needs to hold on to hold up some buybacks. You know, they need to save up enough gold because they've got heroes like Zeus and Spectre automatically, right? But any of these heroes, any of these fights happening around a tier 2, right? Those are massive. Yeah. Taiga makes the jump in. Quick follow-up. Nimbus trying to blow up mind control real quick, but once again, his sustain build allows him to be able to tank through this burst damage pretty quickly. Insania has to get out. Weeha gonna be able to chase him down. Gets one silence on top of it. Insania's gonna pop the supernova right as he throws the fire spirits out. RMN has been pulled back into his doom, but Nigma say we forced a lot out of them. Let's just call it here, reset real quickly. They're gonna lose their 10 double. That'll be a little extra goal for Taiga, but other than that, I mean, a supernova for an undying. I don't think Liquid's unhappy with that either. Oh, they're actually going to go back in. They managed to catch Taiga. That is a really big upgrade, but the Sunray's healing him. Finally, he does go down. The damage coming in from Miracle with the Mjolnir. He's doing a lot. Mickey's going to try and get on top, and there goes that BKB. Mickey has to instantly reset here. Taiga buys back. He's here in the fight, but they have to wait out that BKB. Boxy trying to get out of the Blood Right, does manage to do so, while Taiga looks for the entry. Back in, catches up to him. There, Weehaw gets got inside the Nimbus by Taiga. Now they're going to be able to stop Miracle's TP as well. Koifa looking to be able to chase him down, pull him back in with a vacuum. Running down all these heroes at mind control. One of the last cores left alive with Weehaw buying back in. They've got 2 alive in this fight. Can they actually close it out? They're going to get up Koifa here. Koifa dancing away behind this tree. It's going to be run down. Blood Right dodges that. Where's the rest of the team? Where are they? They're trying to chase down the rest of the supports right now while Koifa's calling for help. He's like, please, anybody save me. But they're not here. The rest of Liquid don't show up. They play around this Nimbus, and now a very fast mind control is looking for some extra kills. Fortunately, Taiga's able to blink himself away, but all of these heroes are low. Mind control certainly can catch. Oh God, he got fooled. Boxy playing inside of the East camp, lured into a vacuum. He's now stuck up on the high ground. That was supposed to be all their chase. Now Taiga, oh, they just got him. That's a die back there. Weehaw's dead. Mind control's still stuck up on the cliff, so he has to actually TP back to the mid-tier 1 tower. But the supports, they're a little far out here. And Mickey, he's feeling good after that Sunray heal for the Blood Right. It does a lot of damage. Quickly Manta's up and goes back again with the Avalanche. Stun onto 2. A toss up in the air. Mind control so low. Vacuuming back in, but the Soul Rip managed to keep him alive. RMN will back out as well. The Supernova explodes. Liquid quits. They say, that's it. We're good. We're going to reset a little bit here. That fight was perfectly fine for us.
Exactly what you said would happen happened. Taiga ran in. He bought back. He baited with his life. He buys back and just, I mean, he did everything in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, even the decision to go on the Bloodseeker, right? Which we saw them do before. We know that's not going to work. You know it doesn't kill. Like, that has to be a conscious decision of, like, of course, I'm starting fights here.
Yes, exactly.
But I have buyback.
We need to start a fight and just have somebody die. It's going to be me. Let's get this thing going. Let's bait out that BKB, which they did, and then they kill Miracle soon after. Yeah, very nice from them.
But
fortunately, Koikva.
I mean, those 2 Supernovas in that fight, by the way.
That was a long
long one, but it means that he doesn't have the Supernova here. He tries to jump in and steal away the H. He doesn't get it, and GH actually snatches him before he can get back up to the high ground. So Insania going to be slowed down and eventually killed here. You could be lurk here trying to collect kills of nearby. They are not good. They are more tempting. Just find some opportunity to farm where they can.
It is a solid timing though now because it's not just the BKB on the Arc Warden. Now we have to worry about the Aegis as well. You need to, if you can, just hold out for as long as possible, not engage, try to split push, which it looks like that's what they're doing. They're playing in the enemy jungle.
What do you do about the Spectre though? If he gets Scotty, it means he gets on top of Miracle and he never lets go because you have a Scotty against a range hero.
It's a real problem. Once again, it falls to the Nigma supports to peel for the Arc Warden, and it falls to the Liquid supports. Who am I kidding? Everybody to peel for the Zeus.
Yeah, they got to throw their lives.
That's just Dota.
Wherever they can. Taiga is one of them that cannot afford going down right now because that is a dieback. So 70 seconds with an Aegis on top of that. Nigma, yeah, I wasn't going to say go high ground before, but now it's a very real possibility. One of the most dangerous situations was getting tossed back into the base, and that's no longer a problem for a minute.
Taiga's been so crucial in these fights, too. You cannot lose him, but they do have a Zeus. This is one of the best heroes in holding high ground, especially with that Aghanim Scepter. That's going to make it very difficult.
They can deal with the Tempest double. Normally, the bubble protects you really well. Mickey is so statted up right now. He can play frontline pretty well, and then the Zeus pumps out so much damage through the bubble that there's not a whole lot of reliable chip damage here for Nigma. So yeah, even with the tiny down, they're gonna have to back up, just control bounty runes, which is still really good.
They should get all of them with that. So it is something. It's 2,000 gold at this point to get all the bounties. So it's actually kind of insane.
Got some tier 3 items still out there. It seems that we've been fighting so much, nobody's been able to hit neutral creeps around that 27-minute mark. So you can see the lack of vision here for Liquid. Matt very, very closed off with only that tier 2 still live at bottom.
Yeah, Nigma just gonna probably move their way into that triangle and stay there. They're converging there as a team. GH is just getting those top bounties because they're there. They don't want to get those sniped. They'll just TP bot to that outpost.
Tempest double and a mind control. Oh, that's pretty nice. Mind control with his build and how tanky he gets, and then the fact that you have a backliner with Mjolnir putting the active on you. There's a lot of things, a lot of small bits of damage, right? Sunray, Ion Shell, Avalanche.
Yeah. Bloodseeker surprisingly tanky as a hero, as an offlaner. He's got some girthy talents, some armor talent, some HP talent. Nobody cared about it when he was a core. Now that he's an offlaner.
Something about these agility heroes that get stat items and like that gives them HP or strength.
It's nasty
because they naturally get so much armor.
Right. It's really crazy when agility heroes are good offlaners. It's the same thing with Nature's Prophet. He's actually the highest agi gain non-agi hero in the game. This is the reason why Nature's Prophet has no tank items, and he feels like an immortal god when you try to go on him.
Yeah.
He builds pipe and Vlad's and all this shit in the offlane.
Yeah, he gets a BKB and just TP's in the middle of a fight, pops BKB and starts right-clicking people. You're like, wait, what?
If you're an agi hero, you really just have to protect against magic damage, because your entire existence will deal with the physical damage.
Really nice combo of wards here from Nigma. They see this farming that's currently going on. Unfortunately, the smoke is going to arrive a little bit too late to punish them, or maybe it won't. She's just going to be able to lead off. Telekinesis follows up, cleans out the creep wave, and they get the rupture onto Mickey here. The Lotus Orb bounced it back onto Mind Control. Mind Control is going to die to the Blade Mail almost. Woo! He actually heals up a decent amount, but you see that Blade Mail actually causing him some real problems there.
The counter. That's the counter. We were talking about the magic. We were talking about the physical damage, but what about pure?
Yeah. Man, that was funny. He like moved a little bit for the rupture, and then all of a sudden he just kept bleeding out.
Dude, one time I was Weaver, the Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
And
you got the 25 talent and blade mailed him?
No, I blade mailed. He ruptured me. I Sakuchi'd as far as I could, and then I pressed R. He died instantly. He took like 2,000 pure damage. He was probably so confused.
That's pretty good.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen in this game because the Bloodseeker's an offlaner, so he's got Greaves.
And by hit R, you mean you were still in range of the like 1,300. You did a bunch of Shikuchi running damage and then zipped it all back. Mickey pops the ultimate here to see the opportunity with GH gone to say, this is a great time to be able to jump them. And look at that. They've taken 2 supports and the offlaner down, and they're still looking for more. Taiga throws out an avalanche, just kind of hunting right now. Does manage to get the courier there from RMN with the tree.
Man, if only they knew Miracle was right there around the corner.
Yeah, he was close. Liquid might just be able to get their second tower of the game with these people dead. Oh, okay. This lightning bolt still runs for a decent amount of time with that level 20 talent. He's held in there for a moment, but he had double astral step, so he's good to get out. Deal with the Tempest double here as you can. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get that mid tower. Mickey takes a decent amount of damage, and all the supports are coming up soon. Unless they catch Miracle, they do. Avalanche toss up in the air. Miracle goes down to half health, pops his BKB, turns and heals. It's something that Liquid are just happy to be able to force those charges out where they can. A 5 net worth lead for Nigma, but it feels like their team fight is not secure, Jenkins.
I love how Liquid is forcing the BKB. You can see that they're making a conscious effort to go in, but not it. And they can do that because they have the Darkseer. They have this hero that can just surge Taiga right out. And then the other heroes are just, you know, they're long range, right? So they're not committing in general. Yeah. This is exactly how they have to play this. I think you could very easily have had this game just be lost immediately there with the BKB coming out and then everybody coming back alive on Nigma.
Taiga with the spider legs gets himself up here on the high ground. He has a lot of vision of Nigma here. I think they also know the BKB is still on cooldown for a little bit. There goes Taiga, makes his initiation, pulling back in. They do have the actually stolen wall there from Mickey. That actually cost him a lot, and he actually goes down. He doesn't have buyback either with Boxy taking so much damage as well. They get a secondary core. This could easily be Nigma pushing high ground and taking at least the lane of barracks. Boxy, eventually that rupture does wear out and they back away. But Miracle, it's time to lay some damage out of these tier 3s. See how quickly they can take this lane of barracks. The backdoor protection will save them a moment or two, but the creep wave's coming.
Once again, there's this question that, you know, anytime there's a Zeus, it's like, can you go high ground, even with the Spectre dead? Like, you almost have to kill the Zeus. And it looks like they're going to get the tier 3 at least.
Yeah, they're pushing back a lot of these. Like, it's not easy to get close to this. As you can see, Boxy's just going to tank out some of the Spark Race to open it up for Taiga and for Koifa to be able to get close. They're going to pull back in, see if they can finish off this Tempest double, and they do.
The double siege creep definitely helps out there. I think if that wasn't a double siege timing, you might see something totally different with the backdoor kick in.
They're going to pop the glyph, but they still have 20 seconds on the Spectre. I think Nigma, at this point, commit, or maybe even better if you could see the opportunity to initiate. But no, just a full lane of barracks. I'm going to be very happy with that, and they're going to back away before Liquid can catch them at all. Very nice.
Clean, man. I mean, this all just goes back to the stolen wall. The way that he used the vector targeting to put it in a direct path that Spectre would need to go to get back to her team.
They try to catch Weehan. It looks like you managed to get him with the toss Nimbus, and then the lightning bolt comes in from Koifa and produces a corpse. Weeha does have here. Liquid surge up on Taiga. They immediately pop the ultimate. They're trying to get on top of Miracle. Miracle pops the BKB to defend himself, and Liquid do disengage, especially with Mickey on top of that wall of replica again. He has to back out, play underneath this supernova, deal with the tombstone, deal with the mess that is coming out here from Nigma. Weehaw did not panic. He did not buy back here. They have the repair kit as well, but Taiga does go in. That's the avalanche combination. They finish off the courier there of RMN, but they don't get a hero.
I don't think I've ever seen a tier 1 repair kit. Usually they're all gone by the time you get a repair kit.
And this is a serious problem. I don't think Liquid can take this tower at
Like,
all.
this is what you usually see on the high ground, is the repair kit and then the Arc Warden bubbles. This is going to make the next Roche so difficult to fight for Liquid.
Yeah.
They have no outer towers whatsoever. Enigma still has their tier 1. 38 minutes.
Yeah. If Nigma has the big tier 1 power and they have the outpost, they have full Roshan control. Any fight that happens around there, they can buy back EP. Basically, they have 10 members to be able to bring to a Roshan fight. Well, Liquid, much harder to be able to do something like that when you have no towers whatsoever.
I mean, with the outpost, you'd be so worried about the possible. If you go take it, it's an engagement person that's taking the outpost. So much if you're Liquid.
Yeah, and as the result, they just have to give it up. At least the Aegis, I feel like Liquid, with their high ground defense, Aegis is not the biggest deal.
True. Yeah, for sure.
As Miracle, like, he very much depends on his BKB, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I also think that probably we can die before he gets the cheese off as well. We've seen him get just instantly bursted by the Zeus Tiny combination.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's not the absolute worst, but we're glimmers of hope in what appears to be a very bleak game right now, basically.
Yeah, certainly. How's our Spectre's farm doing? Is he closing in on any items, anything that will change the game? They got Scotty, MKB, and have to hold on to the rest for that buyback, presumably. Mind Control leading the charge here. He's proven that he's more than tanky enough with 3,200 HP.
Oh my god, he's got the whip of Shaco now too.
Yeah, that is unfair.
That
is just wrong.
That is mean. Just relax, dude.
And Mickey. Oh, there's so much stuff. The Spark Rays are everywhere. Miracle's temp is double, is very quickly putting so much damage. Look, they just wrap into this. He spotted them, and he put an end to all of that. Boxy goes down, and Taiga at half health has to use the Spider Legs to retreat. 4 versus 5 now. Nigma continuing to keep their foot on the throat of Liquid. Pushing this high ground, chipping away at this tier 3. Another 400 health for the Bloodseeker, by the way, so he's down at 3,600. Jump in from it. Taiga's gonna follow that up. They try and blow up Weehaw real quickly. In and out. Disengage. Insania going in with the Sunray here. Yule Scepter up in the air. Nimbus trying to stop him. Thinks he is gonna be silenced up, and he will not be able to get off the egg. Mickey has committed himself in here, trying to go for Mind Control, but again, Mind Control super tanky. Back up into high ground he goes, using the dagger, but he's still gonna be hit by that Blood Rise. Still taking a lot of damage. Now they've lost the Zeus. That's gonna be another buyback. In fact, Mickey may still die. The Spark Race a little bit shallow there, are unable to catch him, but still. Nigma, they lost very little in that team fight. We still have that Aegis. They still have that cheese, I think. Wait, that's a dieback.
Wait, why was he there?
He was so far forward, I don't know what happened there.
Oh, man. I mean, it's probably over either way, but it's really over without the Zeus. There's no way you can hold this. This is Megas. They might even just go straight throne.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing here. Just playing around the bubble, laying into these tier 4s. Sustain. Taiga's gonna make his initiation. God, he just goes in and almost immediately takes so much. Supernova goes out, dealing dealt with. The vacuum backing is not enough of a disable. The Supernova egg does explode. Nigma and all of the miracle illusions that they're everywhere here are dealing damage down to Mickey, and Mickey has gotten a couple of kills, but again, Nigma had all those buybacks to work with, and Liquid just does not have as many. They're gonna buy back now on the Spectre and Taiga. One more time, deal with that Aegis, but it's gonna cost Taiga potentially his dieback here as he's pulled back in into the Remnant quickly. Lotus flipped up. That's going to be able to bail him out. And back in the fountain he goes, continuing this fight. 3 versus 5. And Mickey, oh, what a vacuum. Trying to save Mickey. Mickey, no! He gets popped there by the Fable to GH, and that is just it. They've lost their carry, and Liquid will lose this first game of this best of 3.
At the moment the Spectre dies, they just immediately call GG despite having a couple of heroes be alive there, you know.
Yep.
But man, yeah, that was just really that bottom lane engagement.
Of course, red coaches come into play. At the moment, Team Nigma does not have it.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
This is me.
I can't see. I can't like see when we're like.
If you...
Oh, gotta switch back to me. Okay.
Straight face.
Straight face. I want to talk about the second game of this series. What's going to happen? You gotta still breathe, Lacoste. Still breathe.
Focus. Yeah, I was talking to Slacks. Like, I looked at him and I thought that he was gonna kill himself because he was just holding his breath.
Who?
His eyes was red. Slacks.
Wait, what?
I don't think you can, physically speaking, kill yourself like that.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like, I think
No, 'cause
the
I think you
natural
can-
instinct just kicks in.
Well, and also you like even if you were to hold your breath long enough until you pass out, you're still gonna be passed out and continue normally breathing rather than, you know.
Don't do this,
you got-
Ron.
Guys, it's been great. Who is going to choke in the next game? We'll find out. Game number 2 around the corner, Team Nigma versus Liquid.
That is what you sound like. That is what you sound like. Dire team, Dire team
I've had enough of this buffoonery. Give me the Dota. Give me the draft. Give me Lizard and Kyle. Gentlemen, welcome back to the draft pantheon for game number 2. Now, we saw what happened game number 1. We already have some picks on the board.
Oh,
but I want you, okay, we got a lot of picks on the board. I want you to cover your eyes real quick. Never mind, it's irrelevant. My question is no longer... Okay, well, they banned out to Arc Ward, and that was going to be my question.
Oh, both of these teams, let's just go quickly. Both of these teams adapted to the banning stage. You can see Arc Warden coming from Liquid. Batrider obviously want to ban, but Team Nigma ban out that Mars.
Same
and
thing in the
Wiz.
first game.
They get... So both of these teams get what they like to open up with. One team gets Vengeful, that's Nigma. The other one gets Phoenix. Because of that Vengeful, you can follow up with a Medusa that's already looks, that really does look sick, but I do like the Dead Prophet Oracle versus that because you can get on top of her, pop that ulti on Medusa, just chase her around.
Yeah, it's a very solid strat from both teams. The Venge ET for the damage amplification against Liquid's mass survivability. You got the Phoenix and the Oracle behind the Death Prophet. We've seen Death Prophet Phoenix throughout history. It's a very effective combination. Saw it used yesterday twice by Magical and Cyber Legacy to take out Na'Vi, and I'm surprised that it's really taken this long to catch on, because I do feel it's a perfect mid hero in this meta, and it's very good against the Void Spirit throughout the game.
But what is Team Liquid going to pick as their position 1 win condition for Mickey? That's the question now, because this Medusa looks sick, especially when Drow is banned out, Void is banned out, Lone Druid is banned out. Lone Druid, I'm not sure they would pick it anyway. But that was before the Death Prophet. The ban, I mean. So
yeah,
what
you're saying
heroes?
for a Koikfa hero, but now it's confirmed that Koikfa is going to be on the Death Prophet. So, looking at Mickey heroes, I mean, there's Morphling still available.
There's Sven still available,
Sven's
right?
still available.
That teams like to draft versus Medusa just because you come online a little bit faster and then you just roll over the map. But the problem is that usually is a Medusa without a Vengeful, and the Sven usually has a Wisp with him. It's different when one hero has a buffer like a Vengeful and the other doesn't even have that Wisp that he usually pairs with, so it can be way more difficult.
And in regards to the mid lane matchup, you think that Weeha's going to go for a similar build, Kyle, with the Aghanim Scepter, or are we going to see like that Thompson style triple null talisman desolators type of thing? Like, what's the goal here for the Void Spirit? Because last time the goal, I guess, was to silence. You want it to be very disruptive. What's the idea?
Well, the previous game, they needed him to be the disruptive force within team fights. This game, I'd agree. I think damage amplification edition is the way to go. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Deso. It is a tough game to play, though. You're against a Death Prophet, not a Zeus. So the silence offensively is very difficult. And it's why DP is so nice, because Void Spirit wants to jump into the center of a fight. DP loves that. You drain, you have ulti running. We saw yesterday, again, that Na'Vi series, Crystallize just immediately going from 100% to 25, just in like one tick of the ghosts when he hopped into melee.
Not if you silence her, though, first, right? So, and we had some 6 silences in that last game. Because of that Aghanims, they were able to kill off Insania multiple times before he uses that egg. And I think this is a solid Axe game once more, because not only you're playing versus Phoenix, you're playing versus Oracle. So getting in those backlines and silencing these heroes just completely changes the way they play the game, or even itemize. Like on Phoenix, suddenly you're thinking about getting that Yules or any sort of an item that gets rid of that pesky silence. So I wouldn't mind seeing that Aghanims, but I would like to see we step it up just a little bit. I don't think, like, we had his camera. I don't think he was completely satisfied with the way he played that last game.
No, and neither was Twitch chat, as they reminded us over and over again.
Twitch chat.
They got the dub in the end, though. It's all
Indeed,
good.
that's
Let
all
the
that
Arc
counts.
Warden carry you.
I promise you, Dota players, some of them will give a damn about their performance, but if they get the win,
That's all it takes.
good.
Yeah.
The beauty of Dota is a game you can always be better, you can always be worse. It's a game near impossible to play perfect.
Yeah, Underlord, the last ban from Team Liquid. Did I see that animation before?
Yeah, no, that is a new animation. I was just
that's
like, whoa,
something new,
is that a
right?
new hero that Liquid just
what
picked?
just happened?
No, it's like a
right?
placeholder pick. So last ban by Team Nigma is going to be Lycan. So still looking for a Mike hero as we
10 seconds remain.
get traveled into a dire crystal vortex.
Yeah, we did see a team today try out the PL in a game, and it worked out well. It used to be pretty solid, right, versus Medusa with that diffusal build, but overall, it's not picked for a reason.
Lone Druid, damn.
It was banned.
It was banned.
So Leshrac.
This is something we really only see Liquid do. And
Yeah.
part of this is because Boxy has moved to more of the 3, Taiga more of the, the 4, Taiga's more of the 3.
Yep.
So I expect this to be a Taiga Lesh. They'll put it offlane with the Tiny and have the Leshrac play more of a core. They need to end this game quickly. That's going to be the name of the game here for Liquid. Their scaling power is effectively all based on their heroes' XP and level, not their gold gains. So if you go late into an ET Medusa, you're done for.
They're really versatile when it comes to their draft right now and how they lane. You can core the Tiny as well, but I've watched Liquid. I've played against something similar, and they would put Lash on safely in that Prophet mid, or the vice versa if the game is right.
Well, given how the previous game went, it didn't seem like shutting down Weeha in the mid lane was useful for them. So if anything, it seems like your priority should be this Medusa lane should be the most abused.
Not the lane, I think, but the mid tower and enemy safe lane tower. We saw this again in some of our games yesterday. It's about choking out the Nigma heroes and removing them from the triangle. You cannot let a Medusa just get some free farm, Midas, and then just ditch to the jungle from like level 7 to level 14, which is what we've seen in the past. You've got to control the map and make it so that if Nigma want to claim areas of their jungle, they need to fight you for it. And Liquid can certainly take team fights. They just have to be really cautious about playing around the cooldown, specifically Phoenix and DP.
Yeah, the thing is, when you look at Liquid as well, I believe this will be Mikhailash. He played it versus Virtus Pro as well, but you don't have this big core such as Medusa, right? However, last game they had the Spectre, and I believe that Spectre was the ultimate win condition, but they couldn't pull it off. A couple of bad engagements, pick-offs, and the whole strategy falls apart. This time around, they have something way more straightforward, but they are on a timer.
Yeah, you can see the odds favoring Team Nigma. I strongly favor their draft here. That Furion last pick is brutal. That's going to be MC's hero. We talked about how Liquid had to play fast and get towers early. Well, how do you do that when Furion's on map, just constantly trading with like a double damage Zeus ulti? He can pop off no problem. The lanes from Nigma are super sick as well.
Deciding on how he itemizes, he can actually be one of those heroes that dishes out a lot of damage, and he's also a hero that deals with the Phoenix Egg quite well, plus he benefits from the Vengeful. But most important point out of all of this is Kyle's. Like, he can trade with you. Like, if you go for a tower and you pop your ultis, he'll be on the other side of the map taking the other tier 1 or the tier 2, and eventually this Medusa will get enough space.
How does we've talked about this about Oracle doesn't do a damn thing to Trance, both in laning phase and in trying to counter push. Tiny is a 0 armor hero. Phoenix again needs tons of levels. You just don't have enough to deal with Nigma's lineup early on, and because their late game is so much more powerful, they can stall it out 20-30 minutes in. If it's still even, they can just chill.
Just chill. You have a Medusa, you just chill.
Yeah.
The approach that Liquid took in game number 1 was maybe go toe-to-toe in late game potential with Spectre versus Arc Warden. This time it seems like they want to accelerate and win the game a little bit faster. We'll see if this strategy might win them at game number 2 as we pass it over to our casters. Jenkins! The capitalist.
I swear to God, Tsunami. Don't smile.
I wasn't.
You even laughed.
I didn't laugh.
I'm gonna have words with everybody here in the talent after this broadcast. Let's go to Liquid.
Okay.
Game 2
Yeah.
against Nigma. They couldn't beat him slow, so now they're gonna beat him fast.
And I like this. This is exactly how we saw them pivot in the previous series that they were playing versus VP. They pivoted in this exact way. I think they even picked the Leshrac straight up, didn't they?
Yes.
I think they did.
You're
And I
right.
think it was a safe lane because I don't think Phoenix or Oracle
Our
wants to play
audience is
carry.
gonna go back and check, so yes. Yes, they did. Very good call, Jenkins. Very smart of you to address that nice and early. What is your prediction on who's playing what, real quickly? Because I was thinking it could be a Taiga Leshrac
No,
and safe lane Tiny in that
Leshrac.
case. Safe lane.
I think it'll be a safe lane Leshrac, and then it'll be a mid DP. Probably Tiny Phoenix off because it's weird, but that's what we've seen. We've seen similar stuff from. Oh, this is great. Why just me? Get out of my
Did
swamp!
production hear you talking about Shrek? No shit. Jenkins, for some reason, asked me about Shrek last night. It's not. It doesn't do the tongue thing. He was trying to do the tongue thing, which I'm not going to do on broadcast because that would be.
Get out of my swamp, donkey! I don't know what donkey says. Who's the guy that voices him?
Eddie Murphy.
He's very famous.
Eddie Murphy.
What's he doing these days?
Boxy is going to be playing the Leshrac, so you're both wrong. Idiots.
Shit!
Boxy Leshrac, Taiga Phoenix.
That is what you sound like.
Okay.
That is what you
And it is going to be a safe lane Tiny.
We did see that too from Mickey, actually. We saw them do this safe lane Tiny, which...
Weren't they running IO with it, though?
It was a Tiny IO, yeah.
Yeah, so this time they're going to be doing Tiny Oracle, which is similar, but not quite the same.
And it looks like Boxy is doing a similar thing that he does on the puck, where he's possibly going for a vessel on Leshrac. That's what those starting items usually tell me.
Do you
Building a vessel.
need a vessel in this game?
It's really good damage with the Leshrac. Like, you can solo Medusa from full to zero. It's nice. I mean, it's just Boxy. Like, I feel like he just loves that item in general. But
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it could also just be Bracer, Null,
you sound like.
Yeah.
casual ring of protection. Not bad.
By vessel, did you mean Veil?
No, I meant Vessel.
Oh, okay.
Because to build into Veil, you go Sage's Mask, right?
Yeah.
Not the...
I just.
He might go Veil too. I think Veil's a great item on Leshrac too.
Yeah.
Both of these are fine. I just know Boxy likes to itemize that Vessel.
All right, we'll see how it goes. It is going to be mid-matchup. Koifa versus Miracle. Medusa versus the Death Prophet. Our top lane, we have Weehaw, who's going to be playing the Void Spirit in a side lane here up against Mickey's side lane Tiny with Insania behind him, who apparently was putting Fortune's End onto the Tiny. Not sure about that one. GH is beating the piss out of Boxy right now.
Yeah,
as he's got that extra damage and Treants behind him.
That is rough. 4 Treants, level 1. Big Elder Titan running you down. 1 armored hero, not good.
This will also be the second time that Nigma have like aggroed and not done the expected lane matchup. They're putting Mind Control here in the safe lane. Last time it was Miracle up at top with his Arc Warden and Weehaw mid. They switched that up in game 2, but still. The philosophy is still the same, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It makes teams so hard to predict. Like, this is... I mean... You can look at what their players pick, and you're like, okay, I know where this hero is going to be.
That Mystic Snake hurts. Gonna have to back away from this one. He still has his healing salve to work with, but still, damn. He's got to be careful. Oh, God. He had to pop the Fairy Fire other way. Oh, shit. He may actually die here. He is. Miracle gets the first blood. How do you lose? The Medusa versus Death. I mean, you could lose in CS, but how do you die?
I never want to see an Alchemist or a Medusa get a first blood. I feel like that shouldn't happen under any circumstance.
Oh, no.
That is really rough, man. And it goes back to this lane swap that they've done. Like, I think Nigma's lanes are extremely creative. Even if it's not for this kill, I kind of get why Koikfa died there, just in the sense that you pick this DP mid, you expect to be able to pressure somebody, right? So you're but wait, hero against me that I can't stop from farming, and this is their late game win condition. He's free farming, he's getting all of this XP. I need to pressure. Oh shit, I'm dead.
Oh shit, I take 200 damage from a nuke because Mystic Snake has hit 3 creeps and now it's hit me.
Twice, he took it twice.
Yeah, he took the big damage twice. And they're gonna have to watch out for bounces in general because they also have this mind control safely Nature's Prophet, the Raft of Nature that is been all-consuming in these tournaments. It feels like Medusa is another hero towards the end of it that is going to be very important. And not only is the matchup good against the Death Prophet just in the laning phase, right? But he's also one of the best heroes. She's one of the best heroes to stand in front of pushes, right?
This is true. Yep, this is true.
So Koifa, he may not, like without rotations, he's not going to feel comfortable just charging at that mid tower. And we'll have to see how Liquid adjusts if supports are going to be rotating into mid to gank the Medusa, which is always a little scary, or if Koifa is going to move to the side lanes and try and take those towers first.
I think you have to go to the side lanes at this point. He's doing...
Is Koifa good?
Man, one more hit. Like, he's having such a rough time here. I think he's going to lose his tower to this Medusa.
I think so too. I think Insania may be able to kill RMN here, as he's going to go for that second round. RMN has to play to be able to stay alive, but it's not good enough. Insania does manage to find that kill and even things up a bit.
Name one thing that's scarier than a level 3 Oracle.
Well, like a level 30 PA with double Divine Rapier.
What about wolves?
Wolves are pretty scary. I would say tigers are more scary.
Oh, bullshit. Okay.
That's the first time I've heard a really passionate, angry response from Jenkins. Apparently he's not a fan of tigers, and you know who's also not a fan of tigers? Weeha.
That is what you sound like.
Yeah.
He's also not a fan of that defensive tri-lane that just killed him.
Yes. Yeah.
Not a fan of rotations. Koifa being run down again. Fortunately, he does have another healing salve to work with, and Miracle is also getting low whenever he's chasing this Death Prophet, so who knows, maybe things will swing back around as we're going to see them try to do so here. GH does get stunned up. Insania going for the double nuke. They do manage to bring him down back over to Miracle. He gets a little bit low, but he's still fine. Koifa is beginning to assert some control of this lane, and he certainly needs it as he is currently behind in the CS department.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love this bot lane Nature's Prophet because you can just have the support leave. They can just go wherever they want. Like, you see them just chilling around mid, maybe stacking, back in base, doing whatever. And then Nature just gets all these levels, and then boom! At one of these moments, we're going to see that ult come out. Somebody's going to have some clenching going on, that's for sure.
Bunch of minus armor, Taiga. Mystic Snake, that's not going to be enough, but if they get a second, maybe third hit, and RMN stretch it out! And he gets the kill on Taiga.
That Venjara, man. Nice attack range there. Look at this. 3 Wraith Bands.
Wraith Band.
This is the trend that we're seeing from...
Oh no, Koifa! He's been caught by the rotation of mind control here. The Spirit Siphon trying to help out, trying to get away from these damn treants, but the damage is too much. Heavy rotations into the mid lane, and Nigma, sure enough, you said, I think this Death Prophet's gonna lose his tower to the Medusa. Well, Nigma are going to lend a helping hand in aiding in that.
Yeah, 5 minutes in, you have the Siege Creep spawn. This is a pretty common rotation that you see, but not often that you see it's a Medusa that's the one that's kind of at the forefront of it, but he's so huge with the level 6. They actually can't fight into him with any heroes. They need to bring everyone to deal with him.
And regeneration to work with. He'll get a free Mystic Snake on the neutral camp as well. Mike looking to be able to kill Weehawk. Gets a little close there. But unfortunately, the physical damage shield protected Weehaw from the Resonant Pulse.
Look at Wee's build this game. He is going straight for the hood. He does not want to get comboed again. He was sick and tired of getting comboed for the entirety of the last game with this exact matchup.
Yeah, well, he's he's going to get comboed right here now as they do finish him off nice and clean. Insania pops out with the extra control and the extra damage to kill Weehaw again.
Do you kind of feel like the solution maybe is a couple of bracers and then not play like such a maniac a little bit? But I also think that he is making a lot of space for Nigma as well. So it's one of those things that, like as the draft panel talked about, it can look kind of bad, but it works out. You know? You know, you get the win.
This is so cool, the way they're setting this up, right? Because you said, hey, the support can leave lane, so GH has been stacking this entire time. One of the best heroes to take advantage of stacks. Weehaw, Astral steps over the side through the support. Taiga's in some trouble, magic immunity, but there's still the physical damage coming out from mind control. He needs a little bit more, another hit perhaps. Weehaw pops his mango, but does not pursue, so nobody actually dying up here in the top lane. But yeah, GH stacks. He takes advantage of stacks by being able to get all this extra damage, and he zones the Leshrac out. The Leshrac being one of the best heroes to take stacks away, making sure that in turn the Medusa is the one to collect on those stacks.
Yeah, it's a very nice draft actually. Body blocks from the trees.
Treant's doing so much work. Mickey does finally close that distance, but doesn't get the toss back here. And Insania blocked out. They're gonna fill that hole. Weehaw staying on top of Insania here. Who's gonna turn? They do have RMN coming in as well, and it looks like Insania is probably gonna get popped with this magic missile. A little bit more damage. The Fire Spirit slowing down these attacks. Weehaw still looking to finish him off. They does have the magic immunity and heal to stay alive. Taiga's gonna have to be Icarus diving away here. The combination use on to Weehaw, still staying alive. The Fortune's End, a little bit more. The Purifying Flames, and a hit from Mickey gets Weehaw killed again.
So I know Weehaw's dead. Oh, okay. Can he? I don't know if a level 6 Leshrac is too much of a threat.
Mickey's on hunt. He's gonna come in and toss up in the air. Boxy eventually will follow it up with lightning to slow him down. And Mind Control's dead as well. Liquid just moving a bunch of members around the map. That's 4 heroes top at some point.
So really great response from Liquid there. I was gonna say, I really love how Nigma are positioning their heroes, where of course they have Miracle farming. He's got all of these stats to take. They had GH taking mid, getting some levels on the Elder Titan. If he can get his 6, that's really going to help out for the team fights. So they were just kind of playing this strong 3-man top just to make a little bit of space. But I think with just we dying up here, you're okay with that. But then when Mind Control dies, it's like, okay, this is where we made the error. This is where this hero shouldn't be dead. Basically, we as the offlaner right now, Mind Control is the carry, and Miracle is, or Mind Control is the mid, and Miracle is the carry. So we dying is okay. That's fine. But you want to keep Mind Control alive.
If you want to make that a little bit more clear, you could say 1, 2, and 3.
I could have done that, but you know what? That would be too not confusing.
So the hero of the off lane is actually our carry.
I see why they use the numbers now. That's,
yes, the numbers help out a lot.
Whoever invented that was a very smart gentleman or gentle lady.
Yeah, Koifa, he is being run down right now, and he has no way to be able to cut through trees, but the stomp missed, so Koifa has a free TP out. Where did he TP? He TP to the bottom lane, so doesn't even lose any efficiency here or anything like that.
He's got the catapult, so would be a nice tower to siege. Although GH is heading over. He sees that he's stuck there in that bot lane on Koifa.
Isn't that a ward not on the high ground? It was a ward right next to the cliff.
That's really rough when that happens.
Oh, that's weird.
That's a ripping pepperonis. GH has just been being kind of greedy. I think he's chilling around and stacking for Miracle, but also taking this solo XP mid.
Yeah, I mean, he's got more farm than the Liquid supports, probably because he's been getting a healthy amount of gold from all the stacking he's been doing.
Yeah. 40% now, right? That's a lot.
It is quite a lot. You can see a big difference in the stacking action that's been going on, and Liquid has not been able to invade and take away stacks at all. We're going to see the safe lane tower swapped as Weehaw about to complete his pipe. If he can get this last hit on the tower and a little bit extra gold, and they'll have a really big team fight item at that point, especially with Mind Control rushing the drums.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're going to see the opposite of what was happening in the last game, where we is the guy that's going to run in and get everything started.
Yep.
And then we'll have the damage dealer on Mind Control. Seems like they value having somebody to do that.
Oh, and Aether Remnant pulls back Taiga. Taiga still has the Supernova, and Leshric's coming in with CP's coming in as well. They can certainly fight around this area. Who are they going to catch? It's going to be Mind Control. They don't bother with Weehaw. He has Astral Steps. He's slippery. Mind Control, meanwhile, is the guaranteed kill, and he's got more farm anyway.
And look at GH this whole time, man. He's just bot. He's not even considering coming to these fights. He wants to get his drums first.
Yeah, he's busy. The boy, the lad is busy. RMN trying to get off the swap there. The Avalanche stopped the animation. Now Weeha's going to be able to come in, grabs the Tiny instead of his intended target of Insania. Insania still having that protection of the false promise means that Mickey was feeling a little randy. Thought about going in, causing some havoc, but okay, now he's going to go with his haste rune to simulate. Missed out on that.
And then when the classic 5v5 happens mid, you just have a Nature's Prophet TP to the side lane, start pushing it out. All of a sudden you realize you can't do this if you're Liquid.
It kind of feels like Nigma just, they just play really well against this team. The history is behind it, and now we're seeing just individually in the series, they have their number in both slow game and the fast game. This time around, Nigma have this big late game Medusa, but at 13 minutes, they're up 5,000 net worth.
Yeah, we're seeing Nigma do something that's very similar to what Team Secret does, where they split up into these multiple different units, and you know, you see GH farming mid, for example, and you're like, well, this is stupid. He's clearly gonna die, but this is the risk. Yeah, this is the risk that they're gonna take. It's like, okay, maybe he thinks he's not gonna die here. Maybe he just doesn't care. He thinks that he's farming, that these other heroes can pair together and can still be a functional unit, and that without levels, without the drums, he's not that useful anyway.
Yep.
So just put him in front of this mid tower here and give him this farm nobody else on his team wants to take. Like, do you really want to gank an Elder Titan? They just let it live. They don't give a shit. They don't want to kill him. They want somebody else.
There comes Mickey. You see GH and RMN, they both have the read. They know where the game's going to be coming from, but they may not have expected this much of a rotation. Supernova right out middle of the tier 1 tower, but the heroes are getting on top of the egg. The egg is certainly going to die here with a beautiful stomp out that controls up everybody on the side of Liquid and allows them to be able to run them down each one by one. Boxy will be the last one to die here with the false promise, and he's just putting out damage. But in the end, it was RMN for 5 on the side of Liquid. It honestly could not have gotten prettier.
That Echo Stomp during the egg.
Good.
Like, that let them kill the egg, number 1. And then number 2, that sets up for this beautiful, like, 4-man astral step into the AoE nuke. Like, it's just too much.
Yep.
It's way too much to connect on 5 heroes. I think it was 4 heroes. I think somebody died very early. Still, though, what a team fight. It feels wrong to go on Avenge like that, you know? It's like she's going to swap somebody out anyway. Like, this is... I mean, I suppose that's why you go on her, because she's the safe hero, so I feel like you kind of have to, but you almost want to get somebody else and toss them into the Venge, or jump the back lines, disable the Venge, and then kill somebody else.
Weehaw was certainly having a bit of a chuckle after that team fight. If you saw his webcam, he was having a good time, and I'm sure Nigma as a whole are having a good time, because the score may be 8-8 at 15 minutes, but Nigma, there's no doubt about it that they are certainly winning this game, having a huge lead, 9,000 net worth. Koifa trying to run down some heroes right now. I think Liquid, they just need to be able to force some fights and actually win some fights, but Taiga's already dead, and now the combo going out. My control, he's been picked off. Mickey was able to burst him down, but now they have to all flood him through. The Wrath of Nature comes through and obliterates Insania. The rest of Liquid on the run right now is Nigma just forming up as a ball.
Let's take over the triangle.
Take over the triangle, maybe take some objectives. Mickey's gonna pop out. Can they kill Weehaw? No, no, no. Mickey decided against that play. Astral Step, Ether Remnant doesn't actually grab him here. Toss back, or toss straight up, rather. Mickey is more focused on just getting out of that dangerous predicament that he was just in, rather than trying to be offensive. Smoke up after they take the tier 1 tower. The rest of the team sweeping back into that triangle where they have this nice aggressive ward. So they've already spotted Koifa, and they've chosen him as the next victim. A long-range combination, magic missile, Ether Remnant into the ultimate of GH. Mickey goes to the toss, back into the stun from Boxy. Okay, that's a decent amount of damage, but RMN, he just swapped him into the high ground here. Now Liquid have focused all their damage on a hero they couldn't kill. He gets to the Stone Gaze. Boxy turns around with a false promise once again, putting out what damage he can before he dies. It looks like they might be able to get the support. The Supernova Stun goes down. Weehaw takes a decent amount of damage, but you can see the power of the pipe. They just don't damage to die. Weehaw is still up through all of this. The Fire Spirit hit him one more time, but he will stay up.
Amazing swap from RMN, just positioning on that high ground, expecting. Okay, I don't know if he was there because he was warding the high ground or like whatever he
maybe
was
he was
doing.
looking for an offensive swap or something.
But it happened to be the perfect place to put the perfect hero, maybe minus a Terrorblade or like a Drow, you could argue is better than a Medusa, but you pull her up to that high ground, she's happy. Yeah, mind control is just a core in this game, man.
Yeah.
It's cool that Nigma can pull this off, though. I'd love to see teams pull this off. Liquid, of course, another team we've seen do this kind of role swapping, job swapping thing.
You're just talking about the fluidity between roles, where it's like we trust everybody to have the best game, basically.
Right. It's like Miracle. You can throw him on an Ember Spirit; it'll be fine. He'll play a playmaker. He'll play a completely hard carry like this. You can have Weehaw playing that jump hero. You can have him playing a late game hero. You can have him playing the offlaner, which is essentially what he is in this game.
And that was a slight criticism of Nigma in the past, was it felt like they were a bit more one-dimensional in that regard, and that Weehaw was always playing the space creators, and Miracle was always playing the hard carries, and Mind Control was always playing some sort of initiator.
Which is, you know, relatively similar to this draft, but we're seeing at least a bit of fluidity.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see. It's not something completely crazy. Like, I think the Liquid fluidity that they have between their 3 and their 4 is, I mean, once again, it's just one of these things you don't see ever.
You know, we're saying that word a lot, and I really hope it is a word now.
I really do hope so.
Orchid stops Mickey from getting a combo into the Nature's Prophet. I think he thought to himself he had to get some physical damage in first. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to burst him down. The stomp prevents the Icarus dive out. Taiga's been caught. Insania, once again, this Wrath of Nature proved he's Bane. They may be able to take down Weehaw. Okay, that's a pipe carrier as well. But unfortunately, they've lost Koifa. There goes that exorcism, and Miracle's a god.
Your anger is
At least that's what the game believes, because he is godlike right now. Avalanche to be able to stop the stomp. Mickey, though, cannot get far enough away as he's been hit by the Scotty. And eventually, Mind Control will catch him. This is a very, very rough game. It felt like game one, there were possibilities of Liquid being able to pull out the W, but here it's been a merciless affair as Nigma. Well, the only mercy they had is that, well, Mickey slipped through their fingers. Boxy is going to be run down by RMN, so that's...
Unfortunately, you do kill the guy that just respawns immediately after you kill him as an illusion.
Yep.
And he is the coach, so this is great. He can just sit there, not press any spells, and tell his team what to do. Very convenient. You know, I gotta say, I get why Nigma gave GH all of the farm and space on the map. Well, maybe it wasn't that much space. I mean, he was taking the aggressive farm. I don't think he dies. He's too tanky.
He is far too tanky.
We didn't even pop pipe.
They are going to be able to get the fortunes end on him. Box with the haste rune. Toss him onto Weehaw. See if he can get the Universal Scepter up on him into the stun, but the Ether Remnant pull into the stomp again. And now they're all going to get snapped back with the Orchid into the back line, so the Oracle can't even get the false promise off. Nigma have all the answers. Man, we've got all the answers, no matter what the move is from Liquid. Nigma is there with the counterpunch.
All right, that leads me back into what I was saying about GH. I totally understand why they gave him all of the space.
Yeah.
Because with that max Echo Stomp and with the drums, the ability to position the Spirit, like he is setting up the nicest stomps in these fights. And I keep hearing Fog backstage say like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to play Elder Titan. He's a big Elder Titan player, you know, like, so he's always so critical. Say if somebody picks Pudge, I gotta be super critical backstage about it. And I think I get it now. Like, this looks like a totally different Elder Titan performance compared to what we see from a lot of ETs. Like, he's running in and manning up, but he's ravaging people, man. Like, he's putting out choke points, he's hitting 5-man stomps, he's hitting the right heroes in the back line.
Yeah, that hurts. Just destroying. Nice toss back. He tried to go for the Manta dodge there. Instead, the real hero is put into the tier 4 with the Supernova out. Miracle has to commit to be able to killing the egg. The old Scepter looks to be able to stop things, but the egg still dies as Weehaw was the one to be able to bring it down instead. Now Miracle turns and fights with the remnants of his last bit of mana here. Gets a decent amount back. Koifa healing up with the Essence Ring once again. Mickey trying to go in, see if he can get some more damage in. There is going to be the false promise on the Koifa here. Miracle is going to be caught out of mana at this point, almost finished off, but Weehaw, he zips on it with the Wrath of Nature out, and Miracle surviving through it. I'll leave it. That last toss back was not enough. Just call it Liquid. It's over. They did everything they could, threw everything they had to kill Miracle once, and it still was not enough. A very clean and dominant victory from Nigma, ending